So let's talk about what an abortion is and how it's currently done. It's really important that we understand abortion is a very old term. It's been around in medicine since we've had women who miscarried. And that term was before we had ultrasound. That term was before we had modern medical science. So the term has lots of different imprecise meanings. What I want to do is to help you understand what the term is that we're talking about when we talk about banning abortion. What does that mean? And so we have to be very, very precise in our language, because banning abortion has nothing to do with miscarriages, which it have nothing to do with ectopic pregnancies. So let me get in and explain what it means what abortion means strictly, and why it means that, so that you can understand and have an intelligent discussion about this issue. So Merriam-Webster says abortion is the termination of a pregnancy, that is, the pregnancy ends, and with that, it's accompanied by, resulting in, or closely followed by the death of the embryo or fetus. Well, the term abortion typically, in this context, has meant the ending of a pregnancy before 20 weeks. Because when you end a pregnancy after 20 weeks, those babies can survive outside the womb. So when we talk about this ending the pregnancy in this particular definition, understand we need babies that cannot survive outside the womb. We're going to talk a little bit about babies that can survive outside the womb to make a specific point later. So let's go with this definition. And there's two parts of it that are really important to understand. One of them is the separation of the mother and the fetus. So when you have a time when the mom is separated from the fetus, then that separation, it's a necessary part of this term abortion. But it's also accompanied here by the death of the fetus. So moms can be separated from the human beings in their womb, their baby, for a couple different reasons. One, it can happen spontaneously, and that means without any human intervention. This is what we call a miscarriage, especially when it happens before 20 weeks. It's a miscarriage because the baby dies, and this isn't something that we cause to happen. This is something that just spontaneously happened without any human intervention. But we can separate the mom and the fetus because of human intervention. And sometimes that separation is necessary to save the life of the mother, or to try to save the life of the fetus, or to save at least one of them. So we call that, it's better termed, a premature parturition or a pre-viable separation. Those are done with the intent, below 20 weeks, with the intent to save the mom's life. When you do that kind of separation afterward, where the baby can survive, you separate the mom and the baby by C-section or in the hospital, where the mom can be cared for because it's a life-threatening condition, and the baby can be cared for, and we can offer the baby the best possibility to live. So those kinds of pre-viable separations, ones that happen because of human intervention, done in order to save the mother's life, or in order to save the life of the mom or the baby, they're done for the purpose of life, the purpose of helping both the mom and, if possible, the baby. But we want to contrast this with an elective induced abortion. The purpose of an elective induced abortion is to produce a dead baby. That is, the mom and the baby are separated for the specific purpose of making sure this baby dies. Why can I say that? Well, in the partial birth abortion Supreme Court case, the justices asked the abortionist, look, you've already delivered this baby to the point where only the head is left inside the mom. Why don't you just deliver the baby? And the abortionist answered, because that would result in a live baby. And the product we are paid to produce is a dead baby. We are paid to make sure this baby does not survive outside the womb. And to illustrate that even more, if you look at abortions done after 20 weeks, the ones that are done in 24 weeks and 26 and 30 weeks, those babies could survive outside the womb. And if an abortion is induced and the baby comes out alive, what do you call that? It's a failed abortion. It didn't fail because the separation failed to happen. The separation happened. Mom is now separated from the baby. What failed to happen in that failed abortion is the baby failed to die. So be very, very clear when we're talking about banning abortion. We're talking about banning elective induced abortion. We're talking about banning those procedures which are done for the purpose of killing that human being in the womb, making sure that human being does not come out alive. That's the purpose. And that is why an elective induced abortion is not medical care. Elective induced abortion treats no disease. There's no reason, no medical reason, to have an elective induced abortion. This is an attempt to solve a social problem by killing that human being inside the mom's womb.